What would you do if your online store converted 36% more shoppers? You could take 36% more vacation.
Another pina colada?
Yes, please.
Open a new retail location with 36% more square feet.
Fantastic.
Hire 36% more help.
You're hired and you're hired.
Shopify has the world's best converting checkout, up to 36% better than other e-commerce platforms. What you do with those extra sales is up to you. Switch to Shopify today at shopify.com/listen and get a $1 trial. Shopify.com/listen.
Hey, I'm Chris Van Vliet. Go behind the scenes and beyond the headlines with the biggest names in pro wrestling and beyond.
Mr. Sandman.
All I ever wanted to be was a pro wrestler. So I got to live my life and make people really happy.
The Heartbreak Kid himself, Shawn Michaels.
Do you think there's anybody better than you were?
I think I was great at what I did, and I think other people were great at what they did as well. Greatness is more a mindset, I think, than anything else.
Mindset, motivation, insight with Chris Van Vliet. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
It is 10 o'clock. Welcome in a brand new week here on Three Man Front. Pat, Molly, Conrad, Landrum with you until 2 o'clock. This is Reaction Monday. Love to hear from you, 205-834-9450. A very interesting week straight ahead. Tonight, we've got the Home Run Derby in Philadelphia. Tomorrow night, the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Plus, you've got one semifinal from the FIFA World Cup. Then on Wednesday, ACC, Sun Belt, Mountain West, all having their football media days. Thursday, you got Michigan probably going to fire their athletics director. So, yeah, man, a lot going on before we get to next Monday in Tampa, Florida, as the SEC football media days kicks off.
Yeah, but the feeling just kind of hit me this weekend that football season is here because we do have SEC media days coming up. But we get a strip down what we've gotten since basically 2016, 2015 All-Star Home Run Derby tonight there in Philadelphia. And you'll get Schwarber and Harper and all of those others. But yeah,
Jordan Walker.
Jordan Walker. Sorry about that. But this is a great reminder that college football season is on the precipice of being here.
Yes, it is right around the corner. I did a couple shows late last week, one in Columbia, South Carolina, another one in Austin, Texas. Very interesting take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Both interviews asked me if Kalen DeBoer was on the hot seat this year. And I said, well, I guess they didn't get the memo that Kalen DeBoer signed a lucrative long-term contract extension at the University of Alabama. So unless the wheels on the wagon train completely fall off, Kalen DeBoer is going to be buying groceries in Tuscaloosa for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, you would think so, but everybody's always on the hot seat. Maybe what you do this year doesn't affect your job status next year, but it's certainly one that the boosters and the folks that write those big checks, they keep receipts. Not saying that that's going to happen with Kalen DeBoer, but yeah, that's a really big number these days. It was a big number to begin with, but it's a really big number when you look at revenue sharing and where all those monies are being dedicated.
Very much so.
Yeah, I'm one more top 10 coaching list away from saying Kalen DeBoer is the most underrated coach in college football. It's pretty wild how many people are the it boy, I guess, in terms of college football coaches that have never won a playoff game, never made a national championship. It's like people forget all of the things that he has accomplished. And I understand the expectations are different, but I think he's just becoming wildly underrated in a lot of people's eyes at this point.
But don't we get those with these lists? Mike Elko would have never been in the conversation near the top of the list on some of these top 10s, but what he did with Texas A&M, it was historic last year. I can remember back in the day, Kevin Sumlin was a top 5 college football coach. You remember that. Mm-hmm. You knew Kevin well.
Yep.
He was the hottest thing since sliced bread. He was the next coach that was going to make that jump to the NFL. One season can turn things.
Sure can. There's no doubt about it. And listen, I mean, Kalen DeBoer is so bad that Michigan and Penn State both were really willing to back the Brinks truck up and get him out of Tuscaloosa if there had been a reciprocal need and want from Kalen DeBoer's style. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, both of those schools wanted him. It went pretty deep. So, I mean, you know, it's just funny, like Conrad said, to see how everyone believes he's chopped liver. Granted, he hasn't won a national championship or played for a national championship at Alabama, but you can also look at the landscape of college football. It's not an excuse. It's just the reality of where we are now in the college football world.
Well, and you get that.
And by the way, Kirby Smart hasn't played for a national championship. They haven't even won a college football playoff game in a couple of years.
No,
so, you know,
he hasn't. But I think it's that perception that the Alabama fans are only going to stand for so much, and what that standard is, and what Nick Saban was able to do in his tenure. That's probably why you get the question. It's probably more out of respect than it is concern.
Yeah, there's probably Probably a lot of that, but again, he's a good coach. Give him some time. It'll be okay. He knows what he's doing.
So it's interesting. So we were kind of reminiscing yesterday on the text string as we were looking at some old videos of the Beyonce fans 1 year ago yesterday. They're in Atlanta as we're trying to keep Landrum from going over to some pre-Beyonce parties.
Yeah, I went crazy. I see glitter and I get nuts.
I mean, when he left the hotel room with you and I as we were walking down, because we're going to a movie.
You guys are a little bit surprised that I packed my roller skates.
Well, that and your short shorts.
Yeah.
In downtown Atlanta.
It was so hot.
It was hot.
It was really hot.
Yes. But it's just weird not having SEC football media days the week of the All-Star game. As long as I can remember, and I've covered this event back when we were at the Medical Forum in downtown, and then it went from the Medical Forum to the Winfrey Hotel, and then obviously, Atlanta for a few times, Nashville, Dallas, and now Tampa, and never remember it being this on the calendar, how it's been pushed back a week. So it's odd because last year at this time we were.
Well, yesterday at 2:00 is when I made my wife stop, and I said, "Do you know where I was 1 year ago today?" I was riding shotgun with Pat. And we're looking at a deep freeze in the middle of nowhere, Georgia, in the middle of this guy's yard with a 200-foot extension cord running to the house with some fresh mahi.
Landrum wanted to get some. I was not
You're
that brave.
the mahi guy. You know how I am with fish.
I was like, no, I'm not. We're not doing that, buddy. No.
If you got some frozen smoked sausage in there, I might buy some.
Yeah, but maybe not the fish.
We're not doing the mahi.
You could have packed in the fridge we had in our room. It would have fit.
And don't think I wasn't connecting dots. There was a wastewater treatment plant that was right down the street. That was not mahi.
Oh yeah, that was a good time last year at SEC Football Media Day. So next Monday we will have the Commissioner of the Southeastern Conference. He will get things started off as he generally does, as his State of the Conference address, and then Kentucky, Mizzou, Oklahoma, and Josh Heupel from the University of Tennessee. That will be your first 4 coaches of the SEC Football Media Days. And then Alex Golish is day 2, Kalen DeBoer, day 3. Wrap things up on Thursday, Arkansas, Lane Kiffin, Mississippi State, and Texas. So that's a good day on the 4th and final day. Because you remember last year, everybody was getting out of there by the 4th day. Texas A&M, they were so ticked off.
Yeah.
Because all the Texas media was like, we really got to hang around for the 4th and final day, and there was nobody else worth a darn.
And if we could remember Texas A&M people that were there covering the Aggies weren't excited about Texas A&M Day.
No, that's good. So now they get to go home a day early. And then Texas people, Longhorn people, they got to stay an extra day.
If I'm Sankey, I walk out there to the podium, opening remarks, and go, first of all, if you're wondering, to the rest of college athletics, no, we don't need you. Just start with that.
We're just in out the SEC.
Give us plenty to talk about for the next 4 days.
Yes.
They're having their own national championship.
Well, Greg will take care of that.
You mean McElroy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully he's got something good for all of us next Monday.
I'm sure he's pontificating.
Yes. I'll be good. I heard Conrad this morning on the morning show. They were talking about FIFA. So how much did you watch this weekend? Little or none?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Maybe less than an hour, probably.
I'm like you.
0.
I just kind of watched enough
waned
to
a little bit, yeah.
I didn't do it. 0. I caught scores.
And now on Wednesday, I'll probably, because England, Argentina, that should be fun. But like tomorrow, I'm watching the All-Star game. I guess the game's earlier in the day, but still, like, I'm going to be ready for the All-Star game. That's my focus tomorrow.
I saw the field, and I was like, this reminds me of, this would be like college basketball, all the 1 seeds making it, or like we used to get in the college football playoff when we had 4 teams some years.
Yeah, I mean, when you got England versus Argentina, France versus Spain, I mean, that's blue bloods right there. I mean, that is top of the line. England, watching all the English soccer fans go crazy because they were playing in near 100-degree heat in Miami. They get the win against Norway. Argentina outlasted Switzerland. Another controversial call in that game late. Of course, it went against Switzerland. Mm-hmm. So all the people worldwide, getting it, like, oh yeah, it's the script, the setup, kind of like we do in the NFL.
Yeah,
basically.
That's right. So is this chalk? Is this chalk, Pat, as far as the favorites entering the – was there one that's missing or is this chalk?
I think this is chalk.
It's at least 3 of the top 4.
Yeah.
With England, France, and Argentina.
Because Germany wasn't expected to be there. Thinking about just some of the
Portugal,
notables
maybe.
when I think about Portugal.
Brazil, maybe. I don't think Brazil was the top 4.
Yeah.
Italy, they were never – okay.
Yeah. This might
So
have been
tomorrow you've got France and Spain in Dallas, and then England and Argentina in Atlanta on Wednesday. And then we will have the FIFA World Cup final set.
for Sunday, right?
Yep.
That's when the final is. So have we talked about how many people watch the World Cup final? Has that been brought up yet? Because I was doing a little research on that over the weekend, and the number blew me away of how many people will watch that game.
Worldwide?
Yes, worldwide. Do you have a guess? Or how many people watched the last World Cup final in 2022?
I will say 150 million? 150 million.
Okay. Pat, do you have a guess?
I'm going to go 5 billion.
Molly, do you have a guess?
2 billion.
1.5 billion people.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's almost 25% of the world. 20% of the world.
Yeah, my
Watch
world,
that
my
game.
world figure was way off.
But just in context of the Super Bowl and like how big of an event that is, and it's mainly American, but 1.5 billion.
So how many people are we estimating? What's the population of Earth?
8 something, right?
Is it really?
Or almost, it's like 7.
Is it 7?
Good grief.
Are we in decline?
I've noticed longer lines.
8.3.
Especially
Okay,
around
there you
here.
go.
Maybe that's been increased there. I mentioned something that's coming up on Thursday, late yesterday afternoon. A major report on Michigan's athletic department is expected to be released on Thursday following an outside investigation into the department's culture. Chicago law firm Jenner & Block was commissioned after Coach Sharon Moore's arrest and firing last December to research the culture of the athletic department. Our very good friend Trey Wallace from Outkick, he reports Michigan spent $11 million on the Jenner & Block law firm to investigate its athletic department regarding almost 6 years of scandals, NCAA investigations, and one involving the FBI. Famed sports attorney Tom Mars, he did some math. So if it's an $11 million legal bill from Jenner & Block, you divide that by the average hourly rate of the law firm, which is $1,200 an hour. That equals 9,166 billable hours from Michigan to this law firm at a whopping hypothetical average of 120 billed hours per week, or 17 hours a day. This law firm charges the University of Michigan for this investigation.
Just without diving into it, if you're paying that much for this investigation, this is proactive CYA, right? When you're letting people go and you don't want to pay monies that their contract said that you're making sure that all of that's buttoned up. I'm hoping this is what this is for.
You're at least going to save $11 million, whoever
Correct.
is about to be fired.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure we're all looking at this the same way.
At what point, though, do you go like, you take an extended lunch in there? Can we maybe adjust that a little bit? 17 hours out. And obviously it's multiple lawyers. It's not one lawyer doing that, but.
Have you ever dealt with a
That's
lawyer,
crazy.
Conrad?
No, thankfully not.
Your eyes will be open.
Oh, yeah. When you get that weekly bill, that itemized bill,
$1,200 an hour.
$1,200 an hour, 9,166 hours of work.
You send that text to your attorney. You make sure it's a good one.
I went to the wrong profession. Should have gone to law school. That's crazy.
I know this is going to shock a lot of people in our listening audience, but sources say the report could be a black eye for the athletic department. I would say $11 million legal bill, you better find something. If you come back and say, oh, all's well, Warde Manuel, give him another contract. They're good. Nothing there. AD Warde Manuel's future is in question. Reports are suggesting a decision, including a possible buyout for Warde Manuel, could come on Thursday. The scrutiny follows multiple controversies, including Connor Stallion's sign stealing scandal, the handling of the Moore situation. And this came up over the last couple of days. A former Michigan staffer has sued the university after officials denied Freedom of Information Act requests related to the investigation into her relationship with former head coach Sharon Moore. The lawsuit seeks the release of records and punitive situation and damages. The investigation also expanded after former graduate LaTroy Lewis was accused of sexual assault stemming from an alleged incident that took place in 2024. According to the alleged victim's attorney, they claim that Sharon Moore was aware of the allegations and failed to act. So once again, another black eye for Warde Manuel. And then this came in. Former Michigan assistant Chris Patridge, he alleges now in a lawsuit that former president Santa Ono instructed staff to not report findings of sign stealing to the compliance or the NCAA or any other party. Evidence came from an investigation launched by Michigan hiring that outside law firm that we were just talking about into former assistant Matt Weiss's computer crimes.
So they're alleging you had a president that was complicit in all of this.
Correct.
Which does make sense.
And he's no longer there.
Yeah. That's why you asked the Pat Ponders question the other day. And Michigan was my first or second answer.
Mm-hmm.
Let them go through the proceedings. Can you imagine if you're one of those board members and you're having to sit through some of the details that are going to come out on the Sharon Moore and everything leading up to after?
It all goes back to the fact that you're paying $11 million for someone to look under every rock, nook and cranny of the Michigan Athletics Department. You're going to come back with something. It reminds me of the classic NCAA investigation. Anytime the NCAA showed up in Tuscaloosa or Auburn, it might not have been the football program, but I guarantee you the NCAA is going to walk out of there and they're going to find something wrong with your athletic department. They're not down there just twiddling their thumbs and spitting in the wind. I mean, they're down there and they're going to find something. And so there's no doubt that this law firm is going to come back with some very damning information against Warde Manuel.
I had it explained to me one day, it's like the health department being in your restaurant. They're going to find something every time.
Very much so. So that's going to come out on Thursday. And I'm sure Warde Manuel probably already knows his fate. It's amazing that he has kept his job as long as he has. So.
Well, the winning helped probably. Won a football title, won a basketball title, won a couple gymnastics titles. That helps.
Yeah.
And he'll probably be taken care of. I don't know what the contract's going to look like, but he's been making good money while this has been transpiring for the last 6 years.
Or Michigan could come back instead of a buyout, and they say, "Well, do you want us to, hand this stuff over and maybe a criminal investigation?"
He's got a contract through 2030, which would put him roughly a couple of years before retirement age.
Say, we'll give you a 1-year buyout, or do you want to roll the dice? Try to sue us? And then we just hand all this over to a DA somewhere and see if they want to prosecute.
Well, and he's making, I think, like $2.5 million. So 4 years, that's $10 million.
I'm sorry, but the fact that he's kept his job this long, are you really going to fight this?
Yeah. No, I think he will try to go out as quietly as possible once the details start coming out.
I do. Hear me out. I do kind of tip the cap to the school president for realizing, yeah, this could really screw us up. Keep it under wraps. Don't report it.
Well, and I guess with the sign stealing?
Just because so many university presidents have been so focused on academics for so long, you finally get one that's like, yeah.
We got a really good shot this year, guys.
Right.
So like, let's.
Yeah. One guy that just gets his head out of his office for one day and realizes, oh, okay.
Connor's a good Michigan man.
Yeah.
He just loves the school, loves the football team.
What we're doing is significant right now, isn't it? Yes. Let's not do anything to hamper that.
But with all that stuff, most of the people that were involved in that are gone, right? So.
Yeah, and you still have the Matt Weiss guy for the hacking of the whatever happened there.
So what do you do? Just say, yeah, we did it. Everyone's gone, but yeah, we did it. Sorry.
Yeah. And, of course, Ono's not even in higher education anymore. He's now in the private sector. So, working at like a think tank, I think in England.
Ah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Just all works out for some people.
I mean, because
doesn't it?
well, no, you know what happened? Because he was supposed to be the next president at the University of Florida.
Oh, that's right. It was that. Yep.
And then they started looking and digging, and Florida did their due diligence, and they decided to pivot to go to Stuart Bell, the former president at the University of Alabama. So Ono then had to go get him a 7-figure paying research job.
We run a clean ship down in Tuscaloosa, so he's good.
Yeah. No.
Squeaky clean down there.
Yep. So Michigan will be, it's interesting that this will come out on Thursday, and then Big Ten Media Days is next week. So you get the announcement Thursday, Friday you'll get a little bit more media, then you'll have the long weekend, and by the time everybody gets together in Chicago for Big Ten Media Days, I mean, there might be someone brave enough to ask a question, maybe, but Whittingham's not going to say anything because he has nothing to say because he's squeaky clean.
Well, I was about to say, as bad as it looks for the university and the athletic department, does anybody disagree that they're not in a better spot now with Kyle Whittingham than they were with Sharon Moore?
No doubt. Take that trade
Yeah.
every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Text line is open, 205-834-9450. Later on today, we will have a couple of final features of the summer months. We'll have Molly's Movie Minute, and we'll also have the final edition of Conrad's Curiosity Crate.
Oh.
Can't wait.
Saved a good one for you.
I wore my collared shirt, so I'd look nice for the crate.
Oh, okay.
I was going to comment on that. I meant to comment.
Thank you.
You look nice in the collared shirt.
Thank you. My wife said, "Why are you dressed up for work?"
Because I'm going to ruin the shirt today.
Exactly.
Because I hate when you make me wear this shirt.
Text line is open, 205-834-9450. This is Three Man Front as we begin another week closer to the start of the college football season here on Jocks.
10:25 Reaction Monday. We got Molly's Movie Minute coming up at 12:30, 1 o'clock, the final edition of this summer's Curiosity Crate. That should be a whole lot of fun. We got Major League Baseball Home Run Derby tonight from Philadelphia. Schwarber, Harper, the likes of those two. Of course, you got Jordan Walker for your Cardinals, Pat, so that should be exciting. And it's just basic. It's not a count. It's not a clock. It's not timed. It's no finagled A-day scoring system. It's just
20 swings.
Grip and rip.
Yep, 20 swings.
Wow, so y'all are overlooking Ben Rice. Okay.
No, Ben Rice is there. He was 6th on the list when I saw participants.
Mm-hmm.
He was on down the list.
It's a lucky number.
That's right. Well, the folks in Philadelphia, I hope their roofs are up to date. That's right, because you're going to have a lot of balls flying out of the park. And No-Toe Roofing is your source here in Central Alabama to take care of you when it comes to your roofing needs. That's who put the new roof on the Roberts house. You're going to deal directly with the owners, Sammy and Matt No-Toe. They will work alongside your insurance company. That's what they did with us. We asked them to assist in the claims process. Bottom line is, now I've got peace of mind. When we get rain, I know that we're protected. We don't have water going into the attic. No-Toe Roofing, free inspections to all of our Jocks listeners. NOTOroofing.com. NOTOroofing.com. That's No-Toe, 205-848-2299. Tell Sammy that Landrum from Jock sent you.
So the Braves in the first half, technically that's already in the second half of the season if you look at how many games they've played, but this is kind of the place where they stop it for the All-Star game until Friday for the Braves, but they get a win yesterday afternoon against the Cardinals. How about former UAB Blazer Brewer Hicklin? How about that? He put Atlanta ahead 3-1 in the 6th inning with a double. Braves head into the break 55-40, 2 games in front of the Phillies. So after sweeping a 3-game set back against the Pirates on June the 7th, they win a season-high 24 games over 500. They were 45-21. The Braves have lost 19 of their last 30 games, and they have posted the worst record in baseball during that time frame. So they have a 2-game lead over the Phillies. But the good news is that if the playoffs started today, the Braves would be the number 3 seed. They would take on the Marlins.
Marlins are playing really good baseball.
That's the part of that I don't like about the new Major League Baseball seeding system. You know, I wish they would do something where you wouldn't play somebody in your own division in the first round, kind of shake it up somehow. Braves would play the Marlins. The winner would get the Dodgers. The Cubs would take on the Phillies. The winner would get the Brewers. So those are the 6 teams that would currently make the playoffs. Meanwhile, in the American League, Texas would take on Seattle. The winner would get Tampa. Then the Yankees would take on Cleveland, and the winner would get the White Sox. So isn't that something? The top 2 seeds in the American League would be Tampa and the White Sox. So Conrad would go up against Wimp Sanderson in the first round of the playoffs.
I feel like we've seen that one a lot. Yankees and Guardians, Yankees and Twins, you get that one a lot.
It's a pretty cool note for me to know that the Braves, Jim Jarvis, he's been really big for the Braves here in the last few games. Great defense. He's provided with the bat. And then you mentioned Hicklin. That's really cool, getting some UAB and UA representation.
How about that? Yesterday during the game, they batted right behind each other in the order. And I think it was Jarvis hit the double. And then Hicklin got the single. Or then he followed with a double.
Yeah. I think that's
something like that. But it was pretty cool. You had an Alabama guy and a UAB guy back-to-back in the Braves lineup. And speaking about Major League Baseball draft over the weekend, Auburn finished with 6 players taken in the Major League Baseball amateur draft, including 5 pitchers. They were selected on the second day of the Major League Baseball draft. Petrovic went to the New York Mets. He was the highest-picked player from Auburn.
Sorry, Alex.
So, meanwhile...
Well, they had Rimbert go in the second round.
Yeah, through the Pirates.
Yeah, second
51st.
baseman.
Yeah. Alabama finished with 4 total players. Justin LeBron, he fell a little bit. He was supposed to be a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
And then he ended up going 18th to the Cincinnati Reds. And then you had Tyler Fay going to Pittsburgh, Zane Adams to Baltimore, Brady Neal went to the Reds. And UAB had 1 player, junior pitcher Mason Steele. He was taken in the 10th round, the 296th overall pick by the Arizona Diamondbacks. So,
nice.
A lot of high schoolers taken in the first round. They will have a decision to make. Many of them have already committed to certain schools, and I'm sure the NIL is not going to match some of the signing bonuses that these guys will have. If you're a first-round
pick, go do your thing.
Yeah.
Go do your thing.
Probably not going to see some of these cats.
But what's interesting, though, is you said with NIL, and you look at slot, and you can pay in some of those above slot, which some of those guys. But if you're drafted, you're going to get $819,000 for your contract. That would be one of those I would think that you probably weigh a little bit, because there's guys making millions of dollars playing college baseball.
Yeah, it's interesting that baseball's, I guess, the one sport that hasn't quite caught up. Where in the NBA on a rookie deal, unless you're going to be like a top 5 pick or top 10 pick, it's better to stay in college and get 4 or 5, because they're offering stupid money. Same thing with football, but in baseball, it's still worth it to.
That's so many dadgum rounds.
Take the pro route. Yeah. Well, and the draft always confuses me because you have like 36 or 38 picks in the first round, and because the Braves
compensation pick.
The Braves got a bonus pick for playing Drake Baldwin so many games, and it's just confusing.
Yeah, that's how the Braves end up getting in the lottery and getting a high pick, is because he won the. I kind of like it. I mean, if you develop a kid and then they end up winning the Rookie of the Year, go ahead, give the team an extra pick.
Well, it's better than when you had your top prospect. You're like, well, we can't play him until June or whatever because of the timeline and getting the extra year of control. Yeah, I didn't like that.
And see, the draft used to be a month earlier, but Major League Baseball.
Well, it screwed it up with guys that were getting drafted and then going to have to pitch a game that meant something.
Yeah, in the College World Series. So they pushed it back because they wanted to make it an event around the All-Star game. So,
well, that's the reason they did it.
Yes, it had nothing to do with what you just said.
But we would get the complaints every year.
Well, the big complaint now is that most of these players don't even show up for draft night. This is not like the NBA. This is not like college football. Very rarely do you have the top picks show up and do the obligatory picture with the commissioner holding up a jersey. That does not happen because most of these Major League Baseball draftees, they want to be at home with their families. Hook me up via Zoom or whatever. They don't go. And that's bothered Major League Baseball. They've tried to do everything in their power to try to make it more like the NFL draft, but players are like, no.
Will the potential lockout, will it affect any of these guys in their decisions, or it wouldn't have any bearing on it?
I mean, I think if you're a first rounder, you take the money and just go. I mean, because you get into the system, minors will still play baseball next year. So,
and then if anything, you get 1 year in the minors, and then a lot of the top guys, right? Hopefully, you're ready.
Yeah.
When baseball comes back,
I don't know on payment structure. Those guys, they're still from that contract, not what you would get as just a minor league. Well, okay.
You mean if you wait until after where you would get more money from your initial contract if you waited a year. Yeah, I don't know.
So that wrapped up over the weekend. When we come back on three-man front, an interesting story came out yesterday afternoon. Could Texas Tech be kicking the tires on another conference? Maybe.
Come on, boys.
We'll tell
You
you
want some?
what they could be using for leverage on their ongoing fight with Brett Yormark. That's next on Three-Man Front. Don't forget the Home Run Derby tonight is on Netflix. So if you're not a subscriber to Netflix, you can't watch it. First of a 3-year deal with the global streaming giant. Don't forget later on in the summer, you will have the Field of Dreams game in Iowa will be on Netflix.
Where corn does grow.
Mm-hmm. So that will take place. Conrad said this morning he didn't know it was on Netflix.
I didn't until last week, and then I was like, oh, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
He calls himself a baseball fan.
They play football on Netflix, too.
Really? Never watched that before.
Yeah, they've picked up a few games this year. So if you don't have Netflix, might be a good opportunity for you to get it.
Well, good. I've had it for over 10 years.
Maybe you ought to open it up every now and then.
Yeah, so that's why you didn't know Major League Baseball had
No, because I don't watch anything on it. I just pay for it.
I am watching less on Netflix than I ever have.
Yeah, I mean, they're good for documentaries every now and then, but a lot of the original stuff, in my opinion, is just not very good anymore.
I second that.
Apple TV's has stepped their game up, though.
Apple TV.
They've got some good stuff.
Yeah, they do. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Cape Fear's on there.
Mm-hmm.
Pat, have you started?
I have not.
Okay.
So good. Very good.
Well, the Alabama heat and humidity can be brutal, but don't let it affect your home and family. Keep them comfortable with an affordable Trane cooling system. Recognized as America's most trusted brand for 12 consecutive years, you can rely on a Trane. So go find a comfort specialist near you at Trane.com.
All right, so let me preface this by saying, before somebody takes this out of context, Texas Tech is not leaving the Big 12. They are not leaving the Big 12. Now that I've given you that disclaimer, let me tell you what some of the rumors were that were coming out over the weekend. According to one longtime sports media insider, Jim Williams, the Red Raiders are being discussed as a potential contingency plan if relations between Texas Tech and the Big 12 continue to deteriorate. Sports media veteran and multi-time Emmy winner Jim Williams posted on X that he does not believe Texas Tech is leaving the Big 12. However, he added that the Red Raiders are looking at the ACC as an option if things turn nasty in the Big 12 conference. Now, the comment is noteworthy given the increasingly strained relationship between Texas Tech and the conference over the past several weeks. Once again, folks, it would be difficult to envision Texas Tech voluntarily leaving one of the strongest positions it has occupied in its school history when it comes to athletics. Think about the geography of a West Texas school going to the ACC. I know the ACC doesn't care about geography, but still that would be a tough thing for me to envision for that to happen. Now, from the ACC's perspective, Texas Tech would undoubtedly strengthen the league competitively, but adding a single school in West Texas would also create significant geographic challenges unless it was part of a broader expansion strategy by Jim Phillips, PhD, and the ACC. So for now, this appears to be exactly what Williams described as an option being floated, but not an active move by Texas Tech. I just thought that was very interesting, where maybe if that Cattleman steak dinner did not go very well, maybe Texas Tech and Cody Campbell started maybe kicking the tires about a possible off-ramp to another conference.
I just wonder, with the Protect College Sports or Save College Sports or whatever, the bipartisan bill that was endorsed so much by Cody Campbell, how would that affect?
Wouldn't that be irony?
Yeah, wouldn't it? We're gonna jump to another conference because we don't get our way?
Well, maybe he knows it's not going to pass, so it doesn't matter.
Maybe that very true.
What would have been really funny is if they, were trying to go to the SEC or the Big Ten. He goes, well, that Protect College Sports Act, let's hang on a second. I don't know if we...
SEC doesn't want you.
Pooling media rights, that sounds awful.
Big Ten's not going to have you.
No.
You're more of a name now than you've ever been, but...
Now, Jim Williams is not someone...
Take away the headlines. Nobody wants Texas Tech.
he is not someone that it's in, his parents' basement at the age of 45 and he's posting stuff on a message board and he claims he has a podcast because he bought a mic at Best Buy. I mean, this is a guy that has multi-Emmy winner. He's worked for a lot of the big regional cable folks. I mean, he's got a name. And once again, he was not reporting that was going to happen. He just said that, this was something that obviously there's some noise out there on the radar screen. And listen, if you're Texas Tech, it behooves you to look at potential outsourcing your athletics department based on the conversations and the things that was going on in the Big 12.
Well, if you feel like you've got 17 other schools that are going to be against you from here on out and you're your own, you probably think about moving to a new neighborhood. But this is all going to fizzle away. Everybody got upset and hot and bothered, but they're not going anywhere. And where else besides going independent and saying, Cody Campbell, fund this thing yourself for all of our sports? We can be like Notre Dame. Where else are they going to go? They're not making that phone call to Greg Sankey, are they, with a straight face?
Oh, gosh, no. No. Especially with all the things that Cody Campbell said about Greg Sankey.
Exactly. The Big Ten, they wish they would take their phone call. They're not taking that call.
No, and they don't have the
educational gravitas.
No, they don't. They also don't have, like, your point of being independent. That would be the only way you could go, and they're not. We make fun of Notre Dame, but Texas Tech is no Notre Dame.
So we're just reminding you that we do have an option to go to what is viewed as the fourth best power conference in all of America. Just know that. That's what you're threatening with. That's all. That's the only leg you have to stand on.
It was interesting. Somebody had posted over the weekend talking about certain schools around the Power Four that potentially, if there was another round of expansion or schools leaving for another conference, whatever the case may be, and they listed Nebraska as one of the schools in the Big Ten that would potentially look elsewhere, which I thought was interesting.
And go to the Big 12?
Not maybe to the Big 12, but they would leave the Big Ten.
Where else would you go?
Warmer climates.
Big Ten gives them a nice paycheck.
That's why it was surprising. I don't think you'd want to leave, yeah. We'll give you Arkansas.
But just like
Missouri. We're trading Missouri.
No, Missouri, yeah.
For a very long time, people just said Missouri's not a cultural fit in the SEC. But obviously they like the check they get in Destin every year.
But how much culture do you have to do with these other schools? You know what I'm saying? Like, how much culture, how much do you align with your average, and I know we got friends that went there, but your average Vanderbilt folk?
Well, I think the rest of the conference, when it comes to Missouri, they say, well, what have they brought? How many championships has the University of Missouri brought to the table once they became an SEC member?
We give them credit for title game appearances.
Yeah, they made a few of those.
Which gave them a leg up on Texas A&M, who came into the same year. But I don't know. The Missouri, but the Kansas City, that whole footprint, the media footprint, that was always what was the most attractive. Plus, Missouri was not just hammered dog poo in every sport.
They've had their years where they were really good at football in the Big 12, like a couple.
Basketball, there's a history there. Mm-hmm. Swimming. They swim there too.
They're good at swimming.
The wrestling is still in the Big 12 conference, by the way.
Yeah, we don't do that wrestling.
Cauliflower ear.
So who knows? Maybe Texas Tech, maybe they'll find another home if the Big 12 completely. I'm sure somebody would take them. They'd
the
take
Mountain
Cody
West
Campbell.
says welcome.
Oh, yeah, easily. Yeah, and I think if you're the ACC, too, like we can get in Texas, like, yeah.
See, Cody Campbell, you go to the Mountain West, you start calling shots.
Don't forget SMU's in the ACC. It's a regional rivalry.
Yeah, it would make a lot of sense.
That's right, they are, aren't they?
Yeah, hard to remember.
I forget about SMU.
So are Stanford and Cal.
And see, that would be a good stopping off part for Stanford and Cal.
Yeah,
as they're coming to play Duke or go to Miami to play anything, is to stop in Dallas. Or stop in Lubbock and then go to Dallas and play those two games.
Well, speaking of that, did you see where the report about Washington and how they're $20 million in the hole last year for their athletic department, having to travel across the country for everything.
If you're the new Pac-12 conference, you're sitting there and you're just waiting for the moment that a couple of those schools that's in the Big Ten currently let that next cycle in, like in 2030, 2031, when the new contract comes up.
Yeah.
And they go, you know what? Being $20 million in the hole because we got to send the women's golf team to Durham, North Carolina, or to, Piscataway, New Jersey. You know what? Might be a good idea to maybe just be in a conference with Oregon State and Washington State and just stay out here.
Yeah. We'll fire up the old bus.
Yeah. Go that route. Get a conversion van. Drive up and down the coast.
Get one of those Sprinter vans. You see golf teams in them all the time.
Yeah. 205-834-9450. This is Reaction Monday. Later on, Molly's Movie Minute. Also, the last edition of Conrad's Curiosity Crate. All that straight ahead here on Jocks. So I got to ask the room, since we've been halfway paying attention to the FIFA World Cup, moments ago, Gianni Infantino, who is the executive director of FIFA, or the FIFA president, he has now confirmed that FIFA will discuss expanding the Men's World Cup to 64 teams after this year's tournament, saying every nation should have the chance to dream of playing at football's biggest event. I know this is, to the world, this is kind of like March Madness to us college basketball fans. Many of us did not want to see the college basketball tournament expand. Just from I'm going to call you still a neophyte, Landrum.
Yeah.
From a soccer perspective, do you like this, expanding it to 64?
Absolutely. Because of the personalities from the fan bases you get, from the teams, the different players, this just grows it out. And, yeah, I want to see Curacao competing or whoever. Just think about some of those stories that we could get with the additional teams.
Yeah, like
again,
the Cape
I'm not a soccer
Verdes of
purist.
the world, stuff like that. Yeah. I think it's good for us, too, because it gives us a chance to win more games.
Well,
because we've shown that we can beat a lot of the world, but we're still not in that top tier of teams.
We wouldn't have to worry about qualifying, right?
Surely not.
And based on the English intelligentsia, as I was listening, that the U.S. got an extremely easy pool. And the reason why is they do that if you're the host nation.
You get a better draw.
Do you see what we're doing here? You see what we're doing here? We're having the conversation as people who know, in our heart of hearts, our U.S. men's national team is probably never going to win a World Cup. We're just like those college football fans who want an expanded 24. That's who we are.
Yeah. Molly, you like it?
I like it. Why not? More matches.
We're
more fun. More countries.
We're the casual fan.
We're the fan of Texas Tech. We're the fan of Colorado State. Sure. More teams. What do we care?
Yeah, I would like to know what the soccer aficionados think about that, because I wonder if it's the similar.
Oh, they don't like it.
No,
yeah,
you know they hate
that's
it. You know they hate it.
No, they hated the hydration breaks. Are you kidding me?
No, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, they
Add
went
more
nuts.
teams?
They went crazy.
Well, they probably want to play it in Antarctica. They want it to be as cold as possible. They don't like it being warm.
That just means more venues the next time the U.S. probably in, 2 more cycles when the U.S. gets it in 2038.
Birmingham World Cup? Probably not. That'd be cool, though.
We're going to play that thing at Talladega.
That would be really cool. It wouldn't happen, but it'd be really cool if they would do that.
Talking about getting cultured.
Whoa. Whoa.
People
Can
like
you imagine those fans from Norway rolling up and seeing Don with the inflatable doll there?
Yeah, down in the creek.
Next to the camper.
Yeah.
With his clothes on the line.
He's pitching a tent.
Let's hope not.
You can just bring a case in with you? Yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Come on with it. That'd be great.
FSU Dave texts in and he says he believes that the U.S. can win a World Cup in his lifetime.
Here's to dreaming.
I like the optimism.
Me too.
I do too.
It just appeared to me as a rookie soccer viewer.
It feels like there's still a pretty sizable gap.
Yeah.
It feels like with the playoff, right? There's a lot of teams in college football that can make a playoff every year. There's not a lot of teams that can win it.
Because I saw us versus Belgium, and then I saw Belgium play Spain, and
Yeah.
I don't think I want any part of Spain.
I was about to say there's another level up from what we lost.
Definitely don't want any part of France. Argentina doesn't look like a whole lot of fun. They just play with their food, and they break your heart at the end. So, yeah, those four. Enjoy your soccer, your football. Who you got winning it all, France? Is that where your money's going, Pat? Who's your dark horse?
Your dark horse of the 4-1 seeds?
I think I'm going to go Spain.
Should England be considered the dark horse here?
Sure.
Even with Harry Kane?
Jim Rome takes on sports.
Part of what makes this show is the show within the show. The biggest topic on the show always seems to be the show itself. This is a way to give you clones a way to interact with one another. Yes, we will be going through the chat. Yes, it'll be a part of the program. The only thing that could ruin the show are the old school clones spitting up the same bull crap that they always have. The jungle is out taking names and ready to dominate. Let's get it.
The Jim Rome Show podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Hey, I'm Chris Van Vliet. Go behind the scenes and beyond the headlines with the biggest names in pro wrestling and beyond.
Mr. Sandman.
All I ever wanted to be was a pro wrestler. So I got to live my life and make people really happy.
The Heartbreak Kid himself, Shawn Michaels.
Do you think there's anybody better than you were?
I think I was great at what I did, and I think other people were great at what they did as well. Greatness is more a mindset, I think, than anything else.
Mindset, motivation, insight with Chris Van Vliet. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.